Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is good to be back. It has been a long time since I've done a video. It's also been a long time since I've done a sit down video. And today's video is going to be a writing vlog. I'm currently writing my second book. It is a series of short stories set in, without giving too much away, set in a fantasy world that I've created. It will be part of a bigger series, but the reason I decided to write these short stories was more to give myself an introduction to this world that I've made and to write about characters that won't get a point of view in the main series, that may not even be in the main series. And also just, it was more of just a bit more of a creative project. I don't typically write short stories. The last time I've written a short story was for university. So to be able to write a collection of them has been very interesting. It is a lot different than writing novels. You have to be a bit more precise with your wording, and you have to be a bit more precise as well with what scenes to include and things like that. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the process. I will say the past few months I've been in a bit of not just in writing, but all over. Like, I've been in a huge rut. And my creative abilities have sort of been erased. I think it's best if we just get started. Key to starting a writing routine is to always have a beverage on hand. So that's what I'm going to make right now. I think I'm going to make a new recipe I've created in my mind. I'm going to make a dirty iced chai latte. I think it's going to be delicious. I hope it's going to be delicious. If not, that will be very depressing, okay? But hopefully I have enough milk. I haven't checked. These are the ingredients. So I've just got a chai vanilla powder, milk, and coffee concentrate. I really like using coffee concentrate. It's just a bit more versatile. We have a cat. This is my sister's cat, Murky. She thinks I'm about to make up lunch, which is why she's currently walking on the bench. You're not supposed to be here. She is our grumpiest cat, I would say. But she's a star. What can I say? She was born for the starlight. The spotlight is the correct word. You can tell I don't do any sort of recipe vlogs because this is really like awkward. I'm gonna turn the kettle on. It's gonna be loud for a bit. Actually, I'll prep first, then turn the kettle on. I just wanna say I genuinely have no idea what I'm doing with this video. Okay, I've got my cup of ice. I just wanna say this is my first time making this, so I don't know if it's actually going to work, but we shall see. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is fill this up with milk. I think I'm only gonna do that much, halfway, because then I'll fill it with the boiling water and then the coffee as well. So only halfway, and it's also filled with ice. I hope this tastes good. If not, I'd be very depressed. Okay, so the water is boiled. What I'm going to do is pop... Are you still recording? Okay. What I'm gonna do is do 4 scoops of the chai vanilla latte. I don't have a teaspoon. I need you. And I need you, and I need you. Okay. 4 scoops of the powder. I'm gonna use all of this up in like a day. I forgot how many that was. I think that was 3. And then pour in, I'm only gonna use a little bit because I want it to be flavorful, of maybe a bit more of the boiling water. And then I'm just going to stir that around. I might have to end up putting more ice in it. And that is our chai. I'll pour this into the cup. I don't know if this is going to work. Slay. Okay, slay. And then I'm going to put this in. Oh, God. The coffee concentrate. I'm only going to put a little. Oh, my gosh, I can't open it. I'm only going to put it, because they usually say 50. Gosh, I can't read. 1 cup. I don't know if that was 1 cup. Ooh, I don't like the color of this. This is very milky. Oh well. I'm just going to put 20 milliliters of coffee concentrate in. Okay. I feel like the coffee is actually going to overpower, but we shall see. And then, oh, I don't know if you can see it. I'm just going to mix it around. Yeah, guys, I don't think this is going to be good. I take back what I said. Where's my coffee frother? Just froth it up. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna work. There's a reason I'm not a barista or a chef or anything to do with food. Why does this not screw on? I think it needs more ice because I just poured boiling water in it. I'll be right back. Okay, I put more ice in it. We're doing a little taste test. Okay, it's actually really I definitely taste the chai, which is actually good because I was worried I wasn't gonna taste the chai, but I can't really taste the coffee. Like there's hints of it. But overall, it kind of tastes like Christmas in a cup. Kind of tastes like a Starbucks drink, which is nice and sweet. Yeah, a dirty little, sexy little chai I just made. But we'll get into the actual part of the video that I wanted to film, and that was me actually writing. This is more of just something I do to procrastinate from writing. I make concoctions, a witch's brew. Now that I have my sexy little, dirty little chai, I thought I'd share my writing setup. This is where I mainly do my writing. As you can see, it is just a little stand, I don't know what to call it, foldable desk. Oh, there's Poppy. Hey girl. Desk I got from Amazon. I use this because I mainly write in my bed, and the reason I bought this is because I no longer have a desk in my room, which is where I usually wrote on, obviously. But now I have this little desk, and honestly it works really well just because it's portable. I can move it to sort of everywhere in my room. I mainly sit here on the floor, like leaning against my bed, just because I work the best that way. Sorry, that's not really interesting for you to look at. Look at the cat. So this is my cat Poppy, and as I was saying, she is the most gorgeous cat in the world. Look at her. Anyway, she's stunning. So what I have here on the desk, my drink, obviously. Okay, I'll just get that away from her because she might knock it down. And my laptop, obviously, I mainly write on my laptop. I sometimes handwrite in my journals, but for the main part, I mainly write on my laptop. Easy, it's portable. Everything's together. I mainly use Scrivener to write. I think Scrivener is probably one of my favorite softwares I have ever downloaded. If you are a writer, I genuinely think if you're a fantasy writer, I would say, I definitely think it's worth the investment, in my opinion. Maybe I'll explain my Scrivener screen as well, but I'll get onto that later. Something else I also want to talk about are the fiction books I also have near me when I write. These books are sort of books that I often reference to more because, not that I'm stealing authors' works, but I think part of writing is to read. And I often read books that are in a similar setting to what I want to write, or similar writing style that I want to write in for particular stories. My current writing project, I think, is mainly a fantasy project, but there are different settings that I like to see how other authors tackle similar settings or similar scenes. So I do often have books near me that I think have a similar scene or a similar dialogue framework that I like to reference to, just to sort of see how they tackle it and if I can sort of implement their writing style into the work or see. I think it's important. So I have a few authors here, that books that I really like that sort of have scenes that are similar to the scenes that I'm writing about, or dialogue that I really like. I think it's just nice to reference to as well if you're particularly stuck in a scene, and then you can sort of go back, edit it, rework it, to fit your writing style a bit more as well. But yeah, that's why I like to have other authors' books on my desk while I'm writing, just so I have something. It can be distracting sometimes because sometimes I'll just be like reading and be like, oh, I really like this scene. But yeah, or like if it's like a similar character or like character arcs, I sort of sit with these books and sort of analyze the character arcs they're going on and compare it with the characters in my books to sort of go from there. I don't know if that makes sense. I think I just said a whole lot of words there, but I'm sure you guys can work that out. You're big people. I'm sure you are. I hope you are. I hope you're adults, or teenagers at least. What am I saying? Okay. The next book I also always have on my desk is this book. I am writing a series of short stories, and with short stories, I think you have to be a bit more brutal with what scenes, and you have to be a bit more, with short stories, you have to be a lot more structured, in my opinion. I think every book needs, obviously, even novels need to have a beginning, middle, and end, and need to have some sort of story structure. But I think when you're writing short stories, you have to be a bit more brutal in what scenes to keep and what scenes to let go of. And I found this book helpful in terms of like making sure I'm hitting certain story beats within each short story. And also, this is just a great book to have if you are starting out in writing. I'm not really like, to be completely honest, I'm a bit of a pantser rather than a plotter. But this book I like to have by my side, just to make sure, even though I am relatively a pantser, I like to have something here just to make sure I'm hitting certain story beats. You get what I'm saying? I hope you are. But yeah, those are sort of why I always have books near me. Obviously, they don't stay on the desk because that little desk that you're currently sitting on is quite small. But I like to have them close to me just so I have something to reference to if I'm sort of stuck in a spot and I want to see how maybe another author tackles a similar scene, if I can sort of implement what they did into the scene. If not, I just sit and stare at my screen for a really long time and probably cry. Yeah, so that's why I always have those on my desk. Another thing I always have are my headphones. I always listen to music when I'm writing. I think it helps me zone into the world. I know everyone's different. You have to find what works for you, but I really like listening to music, not with lyrics. I often just like listening to like classical music, lo-fi, lo-fi girl, obsessed. Medieval lo-fi girl. She's where it's at. Today I'm hoping to finish a short story today, one of my short stories. I just want to lock the fuck in and I just want to finish it. Like, I just want to be done with it because this particular short story, I've been writing since September. I started it while I was on a flight to Japan. And then on my flight to Japan, and then I've sort of just been messing around with like the actual plot of it, and it's a longer short story. I think it's going to be like 10 to 15,000 words. Not saying I'm going to write 10 to 15,000 words in a day, but it is definitely a longer short story. More of a novella, in my opinion, but we'll call it a short story. But yeah, so it's one that I'm just like, I just want to finish the damn thing, you know? But we'll get there. That's today's mission. I've been blabbing for like 8 minutes. So I think 9 minutes, sorry. I think I'm just gonna start writing. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm about to start writing. What I do, I set up my music. So I'm currently listening to medieval lo-fi girl. She's my goat. She's been my goat right now. And then I set up a timer for 25 minutes because I do the Pomodoro method, where it's basically a 25-minute writing sprint. I have like a 5-minute break, and then I go into another sprint, and again, so on. I probably do that about 4 different times. So let's say usually within 25 minutes, I probably write 500 words roughly. 400 to 500, just depends. But yeah, let's get started. Okay, so I just finished 25 minutes, my first round, and I've written how many words? Around 614 words. Not bad at all. I will admit some of it was sort of like copy and pasted from like a different scene, and I just sort of like blended it to one. So I probably realistically maybe have only written 400 of those 600 words, and then the rest was just all like already done for me. But progress is progress. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna have a 5-minute break, and then I'll get back into my second set. All right, I've actually changed locations. Not locations, I just changed angles for you because I felt like the lighting was really bad on that side, so I moved you to this side. Also, you have a slightly better view of my bookshelf as well. She's gorge, what can I say? All right, let's get to it. I'll start my 25-minute timer again. And yeah, let's see how much I'll write in this 25 minutes. I just did a writing sprint. I finished my second one, and I've written in that 25 minutes, I only wrote 300 words. With that, my 5-minute break ended up being an hour-long nap, so it's now 3:30, which is fine. Actually, is it 3:30? Sorry, I'm sitting on my phone. Sorry, it's 4 o'clock, but it's okay. I feel well rested. I feel rejuvenated. So I'm going to do another sprint now, hoping to write another 300 words. And that means, so I did 600. My laptop's like on the floor and I can't be bothered to get up, TBH. So I wrote 600 plus 300 plus, oh my gosh, that was just 1,200. That was such a dumb math question. I could have just added maybe 600 plus 600 and that makes it 1,200. I'm so stupid. Okay. Not bad. Honestly, I might aim to write another 500 words and that will be me done for the day. I'm nearly finished this short story. I'm so excited. As you can see, I have now moved to my bed. Just getting comfy. It's the afternoon. Sit back, cozy vibes only. But yeah, we're gonna do another 25 minutes. Actually, I might just write until I can't be bothered to. My beverage for this afternoon is a very unhealthy can of Coke. It's Coke zero sugar, so that helps, but still unhealthy. My snack is a croissant. I think I'm finished for the day. It's now 5-ish, 5 o'clock. I've made progress, which is good enough for me. Doing the timers, the Pomodoro method, I think is the most beneficial to me. It allows me to have some breaks. It's quick. It doesn't feel like I'm like, oh, I'll write for an hour straight. Like, that's daunting to me. But 25 minutes, it's like a quick amount of time. Like, it's not 30 minutes, it's 25 minutes, and just works out better. And also you get a 5-minute break in between, which is good. Lets me go on my phone if I need to. Yeah, I really recommend it, especially if you're a writer that has no attention span like myself. You may find it very beneficial. So that was my writing day today. To be honest, I didn't write that much. I wrote 1,000 words, which just over 1,000 words, which I think is pretty good. I wasn't as productive as I would like to be, but I was also filming a YouTube video alongside it. Yeah, but I like when writers post their writing routines just because it helps. I think it helps put in perspective what's sort of achievable during the day. You know, not every writer writes full time. I certainly don't. I can't. I have a full-time job. So most of my writing is done on the weekends, or if I have a rare day off like today. Yeah, that's my dedicating writing time, and I think it is unrealistic for people to have a whole day where they're writing. I don't know how they can afford that, to be honest, but everyone's different. Everyone has their own methods. I like watching writing routine videos because I'm also just nosy. I just find people's creative process really, really interesting. Another thing I wanted to talk about that I guess is also part of my routine is that I mentioned this before, but I'm also trying to do the artist way. I've been trying to do the artist way for probably about the last year, and I just wish I have the motivation to finish stuff. I am really good at starting projects. I'm really bad at finishing them. And the artist way is something that I just want to do. I just want to do it for myself just so I can complete something. But it's just another thing that it's I view it as a chore right now. And I'm trying not to view it as a chore. I want to view it as something that I want to do. But something I find extremely beneficial about the artist's way is something called the morning pages. The morning pages is essentially every morning, as soon as you wake up, you write 3 pages consecutively, you don't take breaks in between, of just a pure stream of consciousness. That is so helpful to me because I think one of the benefits of it is that, one, it gets you in the habit of writing every day. So even if you're not writing your project, you're still writing something. So you're still, especially if you're a writer, you're using that writing muscle, which I think is incredibly beneficial. You're also clearing out all of your things that are taking up space in your brain as soon as you wake up. You're thinking about all the stuff you have to do that day. You're thinking about what the stuff you're dreading that day. You're thinking about the stuff you were dreading yesterday, and you sort of get it all out in these 3 pages, and then you just put it away. And I've noticed whenever I do the morning pages, I will say I'm pretty bad at doing it every day, but when I do them every day, my day is instantly so much better because I don't have all of these, I don't want to say dark thoughts, but I don't have all these negative thoughts in my brain. It's all filled with positivity and excitement for the rest of the day because I sort of write all my negative feelings in those 3 pages that I'm now eager to just continue on with my day, now that I've gotten those thoughts out of my system. And it makes me want to write more because I'm like, okay, well, I've just gotten all of my negative thoughts out. Now my brain is like clear. I can sit down and actually write. So I need to get my shit together and be more motivated, and I want to complete the artist way. I'm currently on week 2, which I'm just glad I got through week 1, because for a while I've just kept repeating week 1 over and over again until it stuck. But now I'm on week 2 and I'm hoping it stays. I'm hoping it sticks. I'm going to leave you guys here. I hope you liked this video. I'm not too sure how it's going to turn out. I hope you guys liked it. If you want to see more content like this, please let me know. If you want to see more writing videos, please let me know. I would love to make more writing videos. Yeah, I'm going to love ya and leave ya. I'm going to go to bed. Not go to bed. I'm going to shower. I've got work tomorrow and I don't want to go to work. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it so much. Anyway, thank you. Bye.